The investigation into the ISIS-inspired terror plot in New York City has spread to Pennsylvania. New video shows one of the suspects allegedly buying a 20-foot fireworks fuse just days before the attempt. And this comes as the FBI finds explosive residue in a Pennsylvania storage unit they believe is connected to this plot.
Meantime, Mayor Zohran Mamdani confirms the FBI found a suspicious package near Gracie Mansion. Officials later determined it was non-life threatening. Currently unclear if the package is connected to the earlier incident. Joining us now, former DHS Deputy Assistant Secretary and former Acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, how far can law enforcement go to track someone when they make a purchase like this, a fuse, chemicals that could have an innocent purpose or, in this instance, could be used to make a bomb?
Well, they can, one thing about this day and age with so much video, so much electronic records, it's certainly a lot easier to catch people after the fact, so you could, like, you have the video of them making the purchase and things of that nature. What I think becomes a difficult thing, which is sort of stating the obvious, is the most important thing is preventing these types of things, and that's the hardest part for law enforcement. But certainly they'll be able to sort of put this puzzle together. Maybe they'll be able to see if there are any other people involved with them, which is very important because there could be other related attacks coming from these two. We don't know if they're sort of an isolated incident or they're part of a broader group. So that's the most important thing I think they should be doing now to make sure there's not an additional threat related to these two.
And this week we learned, of course, that Iran may have activated sleeper cells potentially in the United States. When you hear something like that, where does your mind go?
It goes back to Joe Biden, Alejandro Mayorkas, and the open border. Because remember, we had so many people, millions of people coming across the southern border. But one of the things that's most concerning that isn't talked about, we had 2 million gotaways, meaning these are people that, even though Biden was letting people in through the border, chose to sneak across. So these are people, one, we don't know who they are, and we presume a good number of them probably had a bad motivation for coming over or a concern from coming over that they would get caught at the border. So we don't know who came over during that, and anyone that sought to do us harm could have certainly done so. So that's a concern. And the other concern, my mind also goes to Zohran Mamdani in New York. His first reaction was political correctness, talking about white supremacy and all sorts of nonsense. And the reason it's concerning is not the political aspect, but people that seek to do us harm. Deterrence is the most important thing. And if you see a mayor that's profoundly unserious about this, it makes them think, meaning the bad guys, that it's easier to harm people. And, when you're going to talk with Joe Concha about the CNN thing, it's the same point. We need to have a strong deterrence, and we can't have that with unserious leaders, unserious press that are misleading the American people as to the seriousness of this, because we need to prevent it, and it's not a good thing to be able to figure it out after the fact. And we are so lucky that nothing happened, meaning in a bad way with this thing, but it's probably not going to be the only time we have to deal with this.
Quickly, Jonathan, we always hear the phrase see something, say something, but realistically, is there anything else that we can do as just citizens of New York, citizens of this country, to protect ourselves from a rogue random attack?
Yeah, in many ways, no. But I think the one thing, though, that see something, say something that's important, again, is the deterrence. If the bad guys think New York's on its game, our police are on its game, everyone's coordinated together to prevent this, it deters some of the people. It doesn't deter everything. So I don't know that we're necessarily going to say, hey, there's the terrorist. But if you see something suspicious, it's worth making that call because it might be the thing that prevents something.
Jonathan Fahey, live for us this morning. Jonathan, thank you very much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.